Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we will deal with the topic crystal lattices and unit cells. Now see, first of all we need to understand what is a crystal lattice. Now see, a crystal lattice is a regular three-dimensional arrangement of identical points. Okay, the points are all identical, which represent how the particles may be atoms or ions or molecules of a crystal are structured. Okay, this is crystal lattice. Then what is the unit cell? Unit cell is the smallest component of a crystal lattice. Okay, and when we repeat these unit cells in different orientation, it creates the entire crystal lattice. So okay, with this we start with this video. So we can say that the regular and repeating pattern means it is very regular and it repeats. It will repeat itself. So repeating pattern of constituent particles in a three-dimensional arrangement is called as a crystal lattice. How many three-dimensional lattices are possible? There are total 14 possibilities and we call them as Bravais lattices. Now for each crystal lattice there are some characteristics. Like see, in a crystal lattice we will have some points. Okay, these points, every point will represent the constituent particle and each point is called as a lattice point. Each point represents a constituent particle of the crystal lattice of which it is constituted of, and each point in the lattice is called as a lattice point. So it is made up of small constituent particles. In a lattice there will be many constituent particles which are put in a particular point which are called as the lattice point. These lattice points are joined by straight lines. There will be several points. All these points are joined by straight lines so that we get the geometry of the lattice. And in this, the unit cell is the smallest portion of a crystal lattice. Okay. So, which is the smallest portion? There is a very small portion of the crystal lattice that is called as the unit cell. And many unit cells, if you keep side by side, you repeat it in a particular three-dimensional fashion, we can generate the entire crystal side by side. As there are building blocks, you can imagine there are many building blocks which are identical and we keep on putting them side by side so that we can generate the entire crystal. So the smallest repeating unit of a crystal lattice is a unit cell. They are the building blocks of a crystal, like the bricks make up a building. So here many unit cells make up the entire crystal. The unit cells are all identical and they will be defined in such a way that they fill the space without overlapping. That is, when we keep side by side the unit cells, they do not overlap each other. One will not fall over the other. Okay, and they fill every space, but there is no overlapping. So there are numerous unit cells together which make a crystal lattice. So this is a portion of a three-dimensional cubic lattice and a unit cell. We can see here in this figure. So this is a three-dimensional cubic lattice and this is the unit cell. You can see here. When we repeat this unit cell, it is shown in a different color. When you put such unit cells all together, you can get the three-dimensional cubic lattice. So it is portion of a three-dimensional cubic lattice and we can also see the unit cell in this diagram. And what about a unit cell? A unit cell has some characteristics. Its dimensions along the three edges are A, B and C, as we can see in this figure. You can see here. You see here A, B, C. This is A, B, C. We can see as A, B, C. These are the dimensionals along the three edges A, B and C. These edges may be perpendicular, may not be mutually perpendicular. The three edges A, B and C. The next are angles between the edges. You can see this is alpha. Alpha. Alpha is between B and C. Alpha is between B and C. Beta between A and C. Beta between A and C. Third one is gamma between A and B. This is gamma between A and B. So these are the parameters of a unit cell. So these are characterized by 6 parameters totally. A, B, C and the angles between the edges alpha, beta and gamma. So the 6 parameters A, B, C and alpha, beta, gamma. What is alpha, beta, gamma? They are the angles between the edges. So here we can see the parameters of a unit cell. So it is, we are having 3 edges A, B and C. I am repeating again A, B, C. And angles between the edges alpha, beta and gamma. Alpha, beta and gamma. Unit cells, we can classify them into 2 categories, primitive and centered. Okay, just now we have seen what are unit cells. Now it is classified into 2 categories, primitive and centered. Primitive. In primitive unit cell, what happens? The constituent particles are present only on the corner positions. The constituent particles will be present only at the corner positions of a unit cell. Only at the corner positions. Then it is primitive unit cell. Whereas if there is a unit cell which contains one or more constituent particles at some positions other than corners, means at corners it will be there. In addition to the corners, there will be particles present at positions other than the corners. Then they are centered unit cells. Centered unit cells is again of 3 types. First one, body centered. Body centered means there will be one constituent atom or molecule or ion, that is any particle, at the body center, at its body center besides at the corners. So at the body center there will be one more constituent atom. Second is face centered. Face centered means there will be one constituent particle at the center of each face. Other than being at the corners, at the center of each face there will be a constituent particle. The third type is end-centered unit cells. End-centered. In this, one constituent particle will be present at the center of any 2 opposite faces. At the corners it will be there. Other than that, at the center of any 2 opposite faces also there will be one constituent particle. Then we call it as end-centered unit cells. So this is all about unit cells. Okay, all about crystal lattices and unit cells. I hope you could understand these points today along with the diagrams I have shown. Thanks for watching my video. Please subscribe to the channel. Thank you all. Please share the channel and subscribe the channel. Thanks.